All right, so here we go, folks. I guess I'll do something real as far as a walk around for my new 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Needed a new work truck, and I had a 2012 Ford F-150 that had been our family work truck for, well, since new, and it was kind of getting up there in age, and there were a lot of small issues starting to pop up because of age and mileage and use and you know, a few engineering and design flaws that always happen with, it doesn't matter what make you have, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Toyota, Jeep, Nissan. I mean, they all have their own flaws. So anyways, that Ford was getting long in the tooth, and it was time for a new work truck. As many of you know, I started making 3D printed parts as a side project for my Tacoma, and it turned into a little business, and I've actively been building my Tacoma into a do anything type of truck. I had a pretty aggressive overland build on it for a little bit, and a good friend of mine owns a metal fabrication shop that builds bumpers and skid plates and all kinds of really cool stuff. And he and I were talking after I came back from a trip down from the Mojave Trail, and really I kind of made my mind up that I was gonna take the Tacoma to another level, which eliminated it from being a work truck. And with that decision, I also had to get serious about another work truck, because the Ford really was getting old. So I decided I was going to start building a flatbed for the Tacoma, and that turned into a whole nother monster of a project, which really put a massive leap forward in my thoughts and ideas with the little business that I had made for the 3D printed parts. So here we are. I'm about a year into the design on the flatbed. It's almost completely done. Really what's been holding me up is the pandemic. COVID-19 has really put a damper on a lot of people's lives. Some people have lost their lives over this. Some people have lost their livelihoods. Families have been broken apart. This is a tough time, y'all. So I'm just glad that no one in my immediate family has been affected. I do have family members who have been affected. Thankfully, they've all pulled through. That was pretty rad. Just watched an e-bike launch off a log here. So anyways, this is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be a rant about COVID. This is more supposed to be a little walk around of my new Jeep Gladiator. It's a Rubicon edition, so it's got the wider diffs, and it's a Dana 44 front and rear. Rubicon meaning it's got electric lockers. That's pretty rad. Because it's a work truck, those are the things that I really like about this truck. Irony, of course, being that I've already started on a flatbed design for this. That'll be cool. Hopefully it doesn't take more than a year to get that one to market. But anyways, this one came with the steel winch bumper, the LED lighting package, and those lights are really good. I know that people say they're not as good as some of the aftermarket options, but I really enjoy factory stuff. So says the guy who just can't stop modding anything. You can hear the train crossing the strait. There it is, right over there, and the fog's still burning off the water. So so this one had the technology package, or whatever the hell you call it. I don't know. I haven't owned a Jeep since 1994, but it's got the big monitor. I don't think I'm gonna get anything but glare because of where the sun is at. So Rubicon, red dash, some people don't like it. I actually dig it. I dig it a lot. The infotainment screen, that is huge. And its functionality is pretty nice. I thought I was buying a model that had heated seats and heated steering wheel. At least that's what the salesman told me. Apparently it doesn't. But I'm not going to make too big of a deal out of that. So it's got the leather, which was kind of the most important thing. And the seating space, you know, of course, it's smaller inside. Yeah, you can see all my work crap. It's smaller inside than the Tacoma is. But I was already prepared for that. The one thing about having a full-size Ford and having to work in San Francisco, or as the city as I like to call it, because it is the city, is that full-size trucks, man, they're really a pain to park in San Francisco, a genuine pain. So, and I have a couple clients that alley access is best, and the Ford just didn't fit in the alleys. This does, and currently it still fits in all the parking garages, which is even better. So some of the features that I am questionable about is, this is one of them. I don't know how useful that thing really is. I'm so used to the stuff that Jerry at Bay Area Metal Fab makes being, you know, nuclear proof. Like he overbuilds and over engineers his stuff, and I'm kind of used to it. So seeing that and the way it mounts up underneath, it's questionable to me. Same thing with these factory rock rails. You know, those factory rock rails, I just don't know how good they are. They mount to the body, but apparently the Jeep industry, everybody seems to think they're pretty good. I'd want something with a little bit more of a kick out to save the rockers, but I don't know. Maybe I'll change that. I do like the halos as well as the LEDs and the LED light. You know, coming from somebody who's had a Tacoma with factory lighting, yeah, granted it is a 2015 TRD Pro. The lights suck, dude. They just suck. So having these lights are wonderful. These Fox shocks, oh, they suck compared to my Kings on the Tacoma. But I constantly have to remind myself that this really is a different purpose-built vehicle, and to compare the two would be stupid and disingenuous to everybody involved, because the suspensions are entirely different. The intended purpose of the vehicles are entirely different. Toyota markets the Tacoma as a lifestyle truck, which means it's not really meant as a work truck. It's not heavy duty enough for a work truck, but it's also not built heavy duty enough to be strictly an off-road type vehicle. This is. Quite frankly, it is. I'm impressed with a lot of the build quality on this. The suspension rear geometry is pretty impressive. I also really wanted the bed rail system. I thought I had negotiated it into the deal, but in the end I didn't get it, so I went and bought it, and they gave me a really good discount on it anyways. That's a really useful bed rail system, and also it's really similar to the Tacomas, except Phil at Vagabond was pointing something out to me which I didn't notice. These are actually more robust than the Tacoma style, so they'll take like load shear much better. They're stronger than the Tacoma ones, but the rail itself is very, very similar. Also, I did not get the power pack because when I bought this, I already had a flatbed in mind. So this will go away and a flatbed will go on this. So another thing that I'm not too sure about is, this sounds strange, but these things run hot, and this whole huge panel here, man, that should have a lot more venting on it. So I think I'm probably going to get one of those aluminum inner fender well panels. That's probably going to be a solid idea. I will also put on Jerry's front bumper, the Bay Area Metal Fab. He already makes like a mid bumper for that. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been stupid busy lately. This pandemic has actually made my job considerably busier, and I feel bad for those that it has affected in a negative way. Unfortunately, you know, there's a balance to everything, and my little business happens to be on the upside of all this. So there are a lot of really, really cool little features that I dig. Easter eggs. Yes, my very first Jeep when I was 12 was a 1948 CJ2A. My father taught me how to drive it out in the hills of Benicia. Actually, he taught me how to drive it right around where the current home that I live in right now is built. So there's a little irony in that. Here's another one. Look at that, right there. I don't know if there you go. Yeah, there's little tiny Easter eggs all over the place. This part's cool. I don't know if the camera will get it or not. I don't think it will. Yeah, 419. Yeah, that's the area code for where these things are made. So Backseat Ability. I didn't even notice that these things had the modular mounting panel system on them. Whatever you can call it, Molly or Mole or whatever. This part is nice. Whenever I put my daughter's seat in that side, it's so close she can reach the beverage or whatever, and it stays there. There is a bunch of storage up underneath the seats, but there's also storage on the back of the seats. It's not a whole lot of storage, but it's there, and that's an important thing. The storage underneath the seat, they make an actual box that I think it's lockable, and I'm probably gonna do that one. So cockpit wise, there's the super Disney dork in me sees a hidden Mickey right there, so I like that a lot. But these vents, super easy and simple design. I really like it. Still getting used to window controls in the center of the dash. That'll take me some time. I've had a Toyota and Toyota products for so long, it's strange. Footwell, there's plenty of room, but I'm not the tallest guy. I'm 5'10", so, and of course, the leaf blower guy's got to do this right when I'm doing the video. How's that work out? Center console, you got an upper storage area and a lower storage area. Oh, thanks, my daughter. That's where she hid them. And this one has the insulation panels in the roof. It seems to help. I genuinely don't know. But mine doesn't have the Alpine speakers, and I would really like the Alpine speakers because this stereo system, it's pretty good. It's kind of nice. I listen to music way louder in here than I did in any of my other vehicles. And the Tacoma has like a crazy Alpine aftermarket in it now. Footwell space on the passenger side. There appears to be more on the passenger side than the driver's side, so I like that. Oh shit handles are in abundance on this truck. I really like that a lot. My wife doesn't understand. See, there's even handles for the rear seat. Really good little tiny touches. And each door has a little mesh panel there. So overall, I mean, I could pop the hood and show you the Pentastar 3.6, but I mean, that it's an ancient engine. It genuinely is. It's an old design. It's, you know, they keep revamping little small things and, you know, diagnostic controls and stuff like that, but really it's a tried and true V6. It works fine. Everything's good. I'm happy with it. What really kind of makes this truck shine is the transmission. That 8-speed transmission is outstanding. It is constantly in the torque range. It really is. I can see how when this gets that supercharger, this is gonna really haul some ass. So only things I really plan on doing are 35s and a supercharger and the flatbed, because in the end this will be like a product development mule for TRP off-road, as well as a work truck, because my family business, I can make make this truck perform dual duties. So yep, there it is. Upright windshield. Still got to get used to the collection of bugs compared to, you know, the other vehicles I've had. Dig the hard top. Love the ability to remove the front versus the rear, but I really want, I don't know. I thought I really wanted the black top. I'm not sure if I do or not, but I still have to decide on that. And if I do want the black top, I'm just gonna vinyl wrap that, because that's what makes sense, right? If I vinyl wrap that, then I can just peel the wrap off when I don't want it anymore. So yeah, 35s without changing anything, no trimming, nothing. 35s fit just fine. Flatbed and a Magnuson supercharger right under the hood there, and truthfully probably a snorkel as well, just because I appreciate the looks, and when this does go off-road down to the desert, I really would prefer to suck air a little higher up than down low. Because the air inlet's right here, right on the other side of this, on the hood. So you know, you get the dust that billows up out off your tire as you're pushing through you know, a dusty sandy road. So it'll just literally roll right up into the engine bay. I've seen it happen. So yep, would like to replace the Foxes with some Kings, but I'm not sure when I'm gonna do that. And overall, I will say I'm so in love with this truck, it's not even funny. I grew up with Jeeps. I remember, you know, I learned how to drive out in the hills on a little flat fender. I had a flat fender in high school that I put a 32 turtleback fiberglass tub on. That was a fun project. I had a 50 Willys pickup, and mostly what I drove around in high school was a 67 Jeepster Commando. It was a power top convertible model, but didn't have the motors. So I had two hard tops, a bikini top, of like a full length, like a I don't know what they would call it, a day rider top, whatever. It just went all the way back, and then a soft top, but that I never used that soft top. And then I had a few CJ5s. One of them ran, but most of them were in pieces. And then also I had I think it was a 78 Cherokee Chief, and that thing was a hunk of junk. But I'm sure that if I still had that now, it would probably be worth some money, because it even still had the Cherokee emblem on the side, and it was a cool looking truck, but boy, that thing was junk. So overall impressions, driving impressions. Number one is it's not the Tacoma, so it feels way different on the street. Even if I was to try and compare my stock Tacoma to this stock truck, two totally different suspensions. So again, comparing would be disingenuous. This drives like older technology. That's what it feels like. That's what it drives like. So you've got to get used to that in your head, that it's just going to be older tech stuff. With that said, it's comfortable on the street. I bombed down through a few snow-covered roads already, and I'm happy with it. I still don't know about the performance of these tires. I'm a Duratrack fan, so we'll see how these do. I may just put the 35 Duratracks on this, because it's hard for me to not have Duratracks. I like them. I think they're a great tire. And there's a reason why Caltrans uses them on their winter vehicles. So driving impressions, always in torque range. That 8-speed transmission's outstanding. The V6 feels good enough, but really, if I had the supercharger on this, that'd be great, right? That'd just be great. So that's in the plans. It feels narrower than the Tacoma. I don't really know if it is or not, but it feels narrower. It feels more nimble than the Ford did, probably because it is smaller and more nimble. It's very responsive throttle wise, as well as I guess I can't say enough good things about that 8-speed transmission, which, man, there's a part of the back of my brain that's just screaming because it always wants a manual transmission. But I'm really happy with that 8-speed auto. And overall looks, I mean, come on, it's a Jeep. I mean, they're not the prettiest things in the world. I mean, look at that goofy smile, right? But it looks good to me. Because again, I grew up with these things, you know, and so I'm happy with it. I really am. It is getting a trooper plate, just like the Tacoma, and yeah, I really would like to put Jerry's Bay Area Metal Fab's rear bumper on, but that's probably not a good idea because my flatbed's gonna have its own bumper, so I'm probably not gonna deal with that. One silly thing that just doesn't make sense to me now that I'm doing this walk around is this. Really Jeep? Okay, all right, I get it. You know, we got our throwback here, but why is it silver color? Why can't you just make it black like all the rest of the trim on the truck? So I don't know. I know I can throw the Tacoma one on there and it'll fit, but I'll probably just paint that black and be done with it. People like to buy those little shorty stubby ones, you know, those little stubby ones, but I don't really care for those. So Dorkel 35s, flatbed, supercharger. Yeah. You know, an old friend of mine coined this word or created this word. He calls it moditis. He says it's a disease, and there is no cure for moditis. So once you start, you're either the person that can start and stop, or you're the person that can never stop. And unfortunately, I'm one of those never stop people. So I'll probably end up with lights and all kinds of crap on this. But I'm just telling myself 35, supercharger, Dorkel, and flatbed, right? That's what I'm going to tell myself right now, right? That's what we all do. We all sort of rationalize our own experiences with our new loves. And I love this truck. All right, y'all. I also love this town. I mean, come on, look at this view. It's one of those little hidden gems in the Bay Area. But hey, keep trucking, y'all.